I'm a teacher by trade, so being here, being with people who are willing to try out new things, learn, and of course compete a bit, it's really exciting for me. So I'm just glad to be here.
Networking is one of the most motivating things here, and learn myself, because we have a lot of projects now, about 3 or 4, and we need to learn how they are used and how they can be interpreted by the guys here in the back. And learn myself what questions comes up, what issues we can push inside the projects, and see what up next.
One thing I really like about being a hack coach is to get into touch with the other hack coaches, break up silos that you have in the different open source projects. But also it's very fun to get new ideas from the people that are here sticking things together. And of course, the food is also quite good.
So value for the OEM. This means what features are really interesting. So we have projects, and the projects are maybe overlapping a little bit. And the OEM needs to see, okay, what technology is useful and what is not so useful, because we have to evaluate which is the next one and the next big thing, and what is worth to develop more, spend money on, and develop further in the field, and also to harden it. Because the thing is, what we are doing here, we are testing out code. We're testing out not the quality of code in the first step. We see what features are needed, what things we put inside the vehicle to make it more touchable. And then we need to focus on quality, safety, security, the next step on, invest a lot of money, because software is very costly, and also to push it in series and maintain it. And then we bet on some more things, and after we bet, we see who is winning, and then we go forward.
Why I think open source will transform, let's say, the automotive industry. And essentially, this is very simple. Traditionally, automotive has been really focused on itself, its own little world. And of course, when you deal with automotive, you deal with people's lives on the road, so you need to be careful about what you put in a car. I completely understand that. But automotive transformed the rest of the software world over the years, and now the time has come for automotive to follow suit as well. And there are many advantages to that, because, essentially, if you want to go to market faster, if you want to reduce the cost, if you want to improve quality, it's better to use battle-tested building blocks that have been built, not just by you, but by others in the ecosystem. And that's where open source is so useful. So breaking down silos, of course, but also making it sure that those basic building blocks that are common to everyone, that don't define what your specific car brand is about, are really shared by many actors. That's the power of open source in automotive. And a good example of that is Eclipse ThreadX, the first real-time operating system that has been safety certified, because that's a domain where open source wasn't found at all a few years ago, and now it's entering that domain and transforming automotive. And the reason for this is clear. I mean, you don't want to reinvent the wheel every time that you have a new project, and you don't want to pay big money to some proprietary players in that field. So you come together with the other OEMs and the tier ones and everyone around the table, you contribute to that, and then you get, a solid piece of software that has been deployed up to now in 12 billion devices and counting. So for me, that's a win-win for everyone.
So why should you become a hack coach next year? First of all, you will see a lot of interesting ideas that you couldn't imagine before. You get into touch with very interesting people, currently from university, but from other OEMs and from the industry. Very nice people that very, very clever. And ultimately, you break up those silos that do exist between the projects to see what is actually possible and how we can go forward towards the software-defined vehicle.